What's the biggest WTF moment that you've had on a first date? I went on one date with a girl via the dating apps. We got dinner and drinks. And it was going well until she asked to see my work email. She said that she loved to see her friends' and family's work emails as it provides valuable insight on their lives. I was working for a judge at the time and everything was strictly confidential, so I told her no. She got in a big tiff about it, saying that it was no big deal. And everyone she's asked has done it. And kept asserting that I show her my emails. I quickly paid for dinner and we left shortly thereafter. Went out on a date with a girl. Went pretty okay. A few days later, she texts me saying she is planning on taking a high-paying job in New York. Having only gone on a single date. I said she should definitely take it and I wish her luck. She responds by politely asking me to never text again. Found out from a friend that she didn't actually move. Apparently, she does this all the time. I was working in a bar when a customer asked me out for a few drinks. I knew her vaguely as she was a regular. I said yes. Though I should have suspected something was wrong. She was a stunner. Me? Not so much. So, we meet and have a laugh and it's all going great. We go see a band in a local place. When we get there, she pushed towards the front, dragging me with her. She danced on me. And grabs my hands to grip her waist as she writhed. Then I saw the lead singer of the band and recognized him as I'd seen her with loads of times at the bar. Yeah, it was her ex-boyfriend and I was just there to make him jealous. Went to pick up a girl at her apartment. She went to the kitchen to open a bottle of wine and I hear a crash and a hot awful moan. I go to the kitchen and she is having a grand mal epileptic seizure on the floor. I picked her up and carried her to the couch and held onto her until the seizure passed. Seemed like 15-20 minutes. After she was embarrassed and exhausted. She fell asleep with her head in my lap. Later I took her to her bedroom and left. Very sweet girl. We dated for several more months after that. I was talking to a girl I met at a convention. We decided to meet up for a date. Showed up and it wasn't the girl I'd given my number to. That girl gave my number to her friend and I'd been talking to this other girl. I don't know if you'd call it catfishing, but it certainly freaked me out. I stayed and ate dinner with her, then left and blocked her number. We met online. Chatted a bit. And decided to meet. Now, this was not a hookup situation. We both were. And clearly stated that we were looking for a long-term situation. She was cute. Seemed smart and reasonably funny. When we got to talking about hobbies and interests, I told her I liked to read. Sale was into motorcycles and playing music. She mentioned that she enjoyed live music, the theater and the occasional Saturday night gangbang. Met a girl in a cafe. Agreed to drink later that week. Day came, she didn't respond. Whatever. Later she reached out to me again saying she lost her phone and we started dating. After a month she told me actually the day we originally agreed to a first date she was in jail for breaking into her ex's apartment. I went to a nice restaurant with a guy I met on Tinder. He went to the bathroom 3 times. The next time we met up, I hung out with him at his house and he told me that he loved cocaine and was doing it in the bathroom every time he went during our date. I ghosted him afterwards. First date with a woman about 7 to 8 years older than me. Convo was going fine at Applebee's, but then she asked me if wanted to go half on a baby. Then she told me her clock is ticking and she wants a kid with me. Needless to say, that was the only date. Took me back to her place, asked me if I wanted a snack, brought out 2 fully rotten black bananas and 2 spoons, cracked hers open and started going to town on the compost banana goo, kept looking up at me like expecting me to do the same. Went out on a date. At the end we started making out. Something felt weird on my ear. I pulled back and saw a snake sticking out of the sleeve of her sweater. It was her pet snake. It had been in there the whole time. Talked about her brother being her soulmate. And if he wasn't her brother, her life would be great. Then showed me a picture. Looked enough like me to get me to say I needed to use the restroom and block her number. First paragraph of dialogue interacting, she conveys she just got out of jail. Was married and had kids. Didn't know any of that going in. Was supposed to be a night walk in the park. Smoked and chatted a little. It was, in fact, Not a walk in the park. Husband called 3 times during the hour date and she had to go because of it apparently. Felt like a David Lynch directed Always Sunny sketch. Got invited to play a game afterwards and ended up in a Discord call with a handful of other dudes that were also all clearly meeting each other for the first time. Then got ghosted afterwards. Still one of the weirdest dating experiences I've had. She canceled before our first date. Said there's no connection. But we talked some more and agreed to go out again and hang out at her place to do a pizza and chill. I show up at her place after driving for 45 minutes. We talk for 10 minutes about her dog and she says I'm tired, then went into her room and closed the door. Ghosted me the next day. Had a woman bring her 6-month-old with whooping cough into the restaurant. The kid needed an emergency room bad. I said I was going to the bathroom. Got the waiter. Paid for the meal and stopped by to inform her that I would not continue the date and that the kid needed to go to the doctor. Walked out really mad. If I have AIDS then you have it now too, was a bit of a moment. I was 31 years old at the time when I met a 28-year-old guy online. He asked me out for lunch. During the date, he tells me that he lives in Plus Senior Living Center. I asked him how he was able to live there and he said that it's illegal for them to discriminate by age. It was so weird. Went out to dinner with a girl. We had decided beforehand if things were going well we would head back to my place for a movie. And dinner went really well, so we did. I text my roommate I'm bringing a girl home so he's prepared. And as we pull into the parking lot I see him. The only other person who lives in the apartment. Walking to the grocery store. I open the front door to pitch blackness inside. A giant balloon. And then my mom's voice as she rounds a corner from the kitchen. Turns out her and my brother decided to surprise me for my birthday and take a 12-hour drive to visit for the weekend. Girl got to meet the family on the first date. Things went well for a few months until she moved away and things fizzled. But what a crazy story to tell now. Picked her up at home, 1920ths. Both still living with parents. I made it around the corner at the end of her street and about 1 block down when a possum darted out into the street from behind a trash bin. Head first directly under the passenger side tire. Thump blood, brains. Emotional breakdown. So about 5 minutes after picking her up, I had to drop her back off to her very confused/concerned parents. They understood and took it well. Never heard from her again. I had a date with a single mom and her crazy ex-husband followed us and pulled a gun on me in the parking lot of the restaurant we went to. Had some people leaving the restaurant not go back inside and call the cops, who knows what would have happened. On the date he finally said I wanted to let you know I'm on a offender registry but it's not what you think. He just made up some flim-flam about some kid having a crush on him and was allegedly out to get him in prison after he rejected the kid's advances. In reality I found out he was a Walmart Santa and Easter Bunny as well as a regular staff member and was seen on camera committing the abuse to a kid in a toy aisle.